Alright, so the month of April just ended over a couple of weeks ago. Today will be my April movie ranking, but I'm also going to include one TV show in here as well. I did not get a chance to check out Fall Guy, or not Fall Guy, but Fallout. I haven't seen Fall Guy either, unfortunately, but I have not got a chance to check out Fallout. That will be a show I will watch very, very soon. But that won't be included on my list. I'm just going to include another TV show. The reason for that is because I literally just like a couple weeks ago uploaded a video where I did a review for almost all of these movies. So I kind of wanted to like include another thing to where it's not just basically like the same video almost. So that's why I decided to include that. But before I get started, please make sure to comment down below what is your ranking of everything you've seen in April. TV shows, movies, I don't care. Just tell me, what did you see in April and what did you think about all that? And with that said, last place for me is going to be the TV show I watched, which is Knuckles. This is a Sonic the Hedgehog TV show based off of the character of Knuckles, and it's super simple how to make this good. We follow Knuckles, and when Knuckles and Wade are on screen, it's entertaining, it's fun, it's funny. So we follow Knuckles throughout the show, and have Knuckles be the main character, and you got yourself a pretty solid show. The first 3 episodes, when it's focused on that, is a pretty solid show. And then episodes 4, 5, and 6 decided, hey, what if instead of being a Knuckles TV show, we get rid of that guy and we just make it a Wade bowling tournament season for the rest of it? What? Who thought of this? What was your idea here? Hey guys, what if instead of focusing on the character of Knuckles, we give Wade Whipple his own show? Oh, okay. You mean like Wade Whipple gets his own side character in a show where Knuckles is kind of the main character? No. What if Wade Whipple is the only character we care about for the next 4 or 3 episodes? That is a mind-blowingly bad idea. It's a decent subplot for a season of television. I don't know if it's a budget thing, if they couldn't include Knuckles in all these episodes, because if you can't do that, don't make a Knuckles show. And like the 4th episode started out pretty strong. There was a funny moment, I laughed, and then it just turned to a glorified music video where literally we're watching like a music video that I can see being uploaded on YouTube. And I don't understand what the central goal is here. I don't understand what the writers were thinking and what the people were thinking actually putting this out, where like Knuckles is only in like 5 scenes in the rest of the show from episode 4 through 6. It's genuinely surprising to me that they actually went through with this show where Knuckles is barely the center character. And it's disappointing because when Knuckles and Wade Whipple are on screen together, it's really fun. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 were really fun. It's genuinely funny. The CGI is pretty good. There were some good action sequences. The Shabbat family dinner action sequence was really, really good. But it throws the whole show away. 4, 5, and 6 are episodes that just are mind-bogglingly bad, that I just can't help but have to put this in last place and be like, what was the central idea of making this show? I genuinely could not believe my eyes and ears as I watched the rest of the show, and it's definitely got to be last place because it has so much potential and it just threw it all away. Then next up we got Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. This is a movie that I was not looking forward to at all. I hated the first Rebel Moon movie. I absolutely despise that movie still. And when I watched the movie, I was surprised to say that I was entertained by it because of the action sequences. The whole last hour and 15 of the movie is an action movie. And I'm okay with that. I like action movies. Zack Snyder is a director I don't adore, but I like. And this movie itself was filled with Zack Snyder's flair, and so as someone who doesn't hate that, it was cool to watch. Zack Snyder actually tries to do a character arcs here for his characters and not just forgets about them, and so they're not good, but at least he tries. And the movie just kind of leaves off at a place where I was like, I kind of am interested to see where this goes. So I was interested in what the following movies could offer. Not excited, but interested. The movie is not good. I'd say it's fine. I'd say it's more on par with the next movie, I'm about to talk about. In fact, I like this movie a little more than that movie, but I'd rather rewatch that movie than rewatch this movie. It's confusing. But this movie was, for me, I think a big part of me not liking it is, number one, the Zack Snyder slow-mo is absolutely insane. There's a thing where when a guy is picking up a water bottle, dunking it underwater, bringing it up, and the sequence takes like 5 minutes to get over with because of the stupid slow-mo. There's one where a guy is like using a hoe to break down wheat in slow-mo. Like, that is not cool. But I think the big thing that really shuns me away from this movie is the way that us as fans are acting. It's hard to do anything related to Zack Snyder or James Gunn because you'll either have Zack Snyder fans crawling up your butt being like, hey, you didn't love the movie, which means you hate Zack Snyder. Or you'll either have James Gunn fans being, you didn't hate the movie, so you love Zack Snyder and hate James Gunn. So it's like we can't be fans anymore. We can't be fans of movies. Those are both directors that I like. And so, like, when I uploaded, like, my Twitter reaction right as I was done watching the movie, I got, like, 5 comments saying that I'm a James Gunn shill and I should, like, kill myself or something like that. That was a real comment. You're a James Gunn shill. Go kill yourself. Like, that's a real comment. And even, like, when I uploaded my YouTube video, there were a couple people that have privately DM'd me on, like, Instagram and stuff and told me that I should delete my YouTube channel, or if they ever seen me in public, they would put me in the hospital or something like that. Like, that is genuinely stuff that is going on. I'm not affected by it because I know it's just the internet and the internet is gonna internet, but I genuinely don't understand what the fan base discourse is about. Both people make movies. The first Rebel Moon was absolutely garbage. The second Rebel Moon is not a masterpiece. It's not very good, but it's watchable and it can be entertaining. And so that way I enjoyed watching it. But it's just not fun to talk about it. It's not fun to make videos like these where I have to talk about the movie, because I know that there will always be people that will just put the movie a sour taste in your mouth because either you're people on Twitter posting that the movie's a masterpiece or you're people on Twitter posting that it sucks. There's literally like 1 or 2 reviews that I've seen that actually make good points. One of them being Sean Chandler's, and another I think being Austin Berg's. That's it. The rest of them are just taking a side, and it feels like us as film fans are at a war with each other, that either you can't like Zack Snyder and like James Gunn. And so I know I'm rambling on about this for way too long, but it's hard to watch this movie and actually talk about it, because while I did enjoy some things about it, while I had many issues with the movie, I can't really talk about it or give honest things because fans are hateful. So like, it definitely gets an extra point knocked down because of that. And yeah, so there's that rant over. Let's move on to my next movie. Therefore, I'm going with The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This is Guy Ritchie's newest movie. I like Guy Ritchie's style. A lot of the movies I've seen out of his I thought were genuinely fun. There's always the stinkers. I don't like A Man from U.N.C.L.E. And to be completely honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of this movie, but I went into this one doing a double feature with this and Abigail. This was the second movie. You'll see where Abigail's at the end of the list. I absolutely loved it. So I genuinely was having a great day. I was like, oh, now we're going to go see Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which is going to be about people killing Nazis. And when it's about people killing Nazis, it's genuinely fun. Henry Cavill is a director that, not a director, but is an actor that I don't like. I get a lot of hate for that too. Not going to go on another rant about that, but I genuinely don't like him, and I think he was pretty good in this movie. This is the only movie where I really feel like he shows some emotion. Like, even though it's just like being completely goofy and over the top, that's still more emotion than he shows in some of his other performances. Alan Ritchson's really good in here as well. So the cast is really likable. When they're killing Nazis, it can be really fun. But the first, I'd say, hour of the movie is just really bizarre. Where we're watching this movie and we're wanting to see Nazis get killed. But we spend so much time on this other island with these 2 other people, and they're doing some espionage stuff, and okay, we're following them, and then every now and then, like after 15 minutes, we'll cut back to the actual plot that we're engaged in. Not to say I wasn't engaged in the other one. I thought there were some interesting parts in there, but then like at the final hour of the movie, like, there's a point in time where we finally get the people, that finally the main characters are actually the main characters, and that's when it gets really fun. The rest of the movie just feels like it's trying to do its best not to be what we all want it to be, and it's focusing on these other characters on an island, which is cool. There are some things that I thought was good. There's a certain train sequence in the beginning which I thought is pretty great, but we come to see Nazis get killed, not people doing espionage on an island, and not only people, but people that aren't the main characters. So that was really interesting as well. Also, I feel like it's paced in a really weird way where the movie just feels like an origin story for a franchise coming up. Like, literally the last scene is, we're assembling you, you're officially our Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. That's literally what the ending is. And so it feels like we're teaming up for a bigger thing, but it's a true story. So, like, it feels like it chooses the story to tell that's not the most interesting. Like, it feels like it's telling this origin story of how these people come about, when we could be showing us a mission that they've already had that could be more entertaining in that way. So, yeah, when it's killing Nazis, it's fun. But throughout the entire movie, I just had so many issues with it, and I could not believe that these were some of the ideas that were happening in the movie, and that it's simple to think of a way. This movie could have been so much better if you just took out a lot of that and added this in. Is it a bad movie? No, it's fine. But it could have been so much better. Third place, I'm going with Dev Patel's Monkey Man. This is much higher than the bottom two. Definitely much higher. And even though I didn't love it, I thought it was still pretty good. The first act, I think, is solid. The action sequence there wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't bad either. The final, I'd say 45 minutes, not 45, probably like half hour, those are really good. It's a really good last half hour where there's so many, like, the action sequence at the end of it really feels like I wanted it to be. Like, it's described as Indian John Wick, and the final action sequence really felt like it was John Wick, and that's something that I really did enjoy out of the movie, because I like John Wick and I like action, and it's really good action. Even though I don't think this movie is like Indian John Wick whatsoever, when it gets that action, I think it's really good for the last 30 minutes. So the first act is good. Its action sequences are good. The final 30 is good. It's actually great with all the action sequences. The problem with this movie is it really, really drags in the middle of the movie. I really liked seeing the backstory to our main character. Why he's trying to kill all these people was really interesting to me, even though it's like just a typical, you killed my family, I need to go get you. But I thought the sequences when we're flashing back are interesting. But majority of that middle act is him going to like a monk area and just trying to train his mind and body. And we're there for like half an hour, I'd say, and I'm not too interested in that at all. I was not interested in what was happening at that point in time in this movie whatsoever, and I really felt like it dragged the movie down. For like right as we get to the height of the action, he tried to kill these guys, he's on the run, he gets knocked out. Then we just slowed to a crawl of all this exposition dump. Like, why is he doing this? Who are these monks? All that, and it slows the film down to an absolute halt. And then we get to the end of the movie and it picks back up with the action sequence again. And the action sequence is awesome. But while I left this on a really positive note, while I really did enjoy the movie and think it's very solid, the middle act really did bog the movie down, and I really wish that it was cut shorter. Like, you could have shaved 15 minutes off. Sure, maybe would have felt rushed, but at least it would have been more interesting, you know? And so, while I thought it was a good movie, I still had issues with it as well. My number 2 of April 2024 is gonna be Alex Garland's Civil War. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I was really excited for this movie, if we're being completely honest. And what I got out of the movie, I thought it was really good. It was a really, really great movie. And my favorite thing was that the movie decided not to choose a side. The thing that the movie decides to do is explore the Civil War through journalism. We are following these characters who are journalists and just doing their jobs. They don't care about who's going to win the war. They just care about how they're going to put the news out there. And that was just a really interesting and unique look into what could have been a very controversial movie. Of course, it's still controversial because you always get that one guy, hey, you didn't pick the side I'm on. I don't care that you didn't pick the other side, but you didn't pick my side. And I just disagree. I think that was the best part of the movie, the fact that they didn't choose a side and they found that way. The cast is very good. Jesse Plemons, phenomenal. He has probably the best sequence I've seen all year. It's very intense. The visual effects, phenomenal. The sound design is one of the best I've ever seen, where I saw this in my tiny AMC theater with not a great sound design, and I was scared every time there was a gunshot. It is brilliantly produced and edited. It was phenomenally crafted that way. I really loved the movie. I'm not going to say loved it, but I really thought it was great. The one of the things I did not like about the movie was the final 5 minutes. Alex Garland's a director that I think can barely wrap up his movies. The only movie that I think he has a solid ending to is Annihilation. And I love that movie. I just saw it like 5 days ago and I'm still reeling from that experience of the ending. But like the last 5 minutes, more like 3 minutes actually, like Kirsten Dunst's character gets shot, she's dead, we take a picture of the dead president, and that's the movie. Like, there are sequences where we had long, prolonged sequences of people being sad because other characters die. Feels weird that we wouldn't get that for our main character, right? And so because it just ended so abruptly, I had a sour taste in my mouth at the very end of the movie. Also, if you're looking to know why the world's in a civil war, you're not going to get that. The movie does not want to explain why the people hate each other, why there's a huge civil war going on. It's just about the photography and the journalism. And I thought that was really good. So while it's still a really great movie, one of Alex Garland's best, I just left the sour taste in my mouth with those last couple of minutes. But when it comes to Blu-ray, I will check it out. I'm pretty excited to recheck the movie out. So yeah, I thought it was really good, but easily number one, my favorite movie of April 2024. I believe it's my second favorite movie of the year thus far, until I see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on Saturday. Cannot wait. Anyways, it's Abigail. Abigail is a really great movie. It's really good. It's reminiscent of movies like Violent Night. It's nothing like Violent Night, but it reminds me of Violent Night, because Violent Night was a movie where it's just an original story about Santa Claus and Die Hard. It's two mixed things with a group of characters that you love, and this was exactly this movie. It was a isolation thriller slasher movie with a ballerina vampire, and it was very, very fun. The cast that we have here is one of the best casts that we have got all year. I'd say it's not better than Dune Part 2, but everybody in this movie is great. Kevin Durand is a huge standout. The gore, that aspect of like the horrorness of the movie is pretty fun. Like, there's sequences where a vampire will face daylight and then poof, it explodes and blood goes everywhere, and I was grinning from ear to ear on that. But overall, this is just a movie that is fun. I love slashers, and it's elevated by the cast and how fun they are to just hang out with. Dan Stevens and Melissa Barrera are phenomenal in the movie. I mean, they are both great. Justice for Melissa Barrera, like, she needs to get back in the Scream franchise. And Dan Stevens is just a blast. And like I mentioned, these characters are just so much fun to watch a movie with and spend time with, that it's a very fun movie just in that aspect alone. And then you add the mix of a ballerina vampire. Like, it's totally made for me, and everything it does is just so fun. And this is a movie that came out on VOD. I'm contemplating buying the movie and showing my family it because it's absolutely fun, and I absolutely loved it. And it's my second favorite movie of the year. Only not my first, because Dune Part 2 is so good, but it's definitely number one on this list. Let me know down below, what did you guys see in April of 2024? TV shows, movies, I don't care, include them all on your list. Just let me know what you thought of all of them and rank them down below in the comment section down below. I think I'm uploading this on Friday if I get it all edited by then. And so tomorrow, technically, I'm watching Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So my next video will be a review of that, then a ranking of that franchise, and then stay tuned for so many other videos. Go check out my second channel if you like sports content, niche content that I can't really post on this channel. That's at MoreZMC. And with that said, thank you guys for clicking on this video. And with that said, subscribe, join the Nerd Army. Peace out.